sometimes I'm like to myself, I do miss university a lot. And I was literally walking this morning, just having a stroll. I like to get in like 20 minutes of cardio, some steps, and I just saw just like a group of people just, like chilling and playing frisbee. And instantly I got like a flashback to university, and I get these quite often. And I mean, I wouldn't say crazily often, but like I get them, and it's like literally just vivid moments of specific events or moments at university. And I used to play frisbee a lot just with my friends, and it's quite a big thing that we used to just chill in the park, especially kind of like summertime. And now that the sun is coming out, it's kind of reminding me of that era. But it's really weird. Like I do miss elements for sure. And when I really thought about it and I was just walking, I was thinking like, damn, that period of my time was so fun. Like honestly, university was just so fun, and it was just such a good vibe, and I had such a great experience being at university, and every single year was like so good. And I remember just going and just being like, it was one of the best points of my life. And I think, to be fair, a large majority of it and a big part of that was I was really fortunate to be around amazing people that were really like nice and friendly, and I got along with a lot. And because of that, it just made the whole experience worthwhile. And now, like, my life is completely the opposite, and I would really like to talk about this in a future video, and especially getting one of my friends who, a very close friend of mine from university. I think we're gonna properly kind of deep dive into some of the things. But honestly, one of the big things is like how life is, how different life is now in the real world post university, and how different it was back then. Because for me, like, first year of university was just incredible. Like, it was just so fun. And then the reason why it was so fun, it was just like there was no pressure, and there was no like, everything was just so chill. Like, you'd go into university, come back, and just hang out with your friends, do so many different activities. You know, you just meet loads of people. It was just fun. And it was quite the same thing, like, as you go to second year, third year. Yeah, I guess the work kind of built up, but still, like, it was not crazy demanding or anything like that. And I think definitely that's a down, like, it's not a good thing, because if you want to grow and if you want to achieve things in the world, like, you want to be able to be in a position of responsibility, take a lot of responsibility on, and having pressures is actually, in my opinion, a good thing. It's just because it allows you to deal with it, if you can deal with it, and if you're able to deal with it in a way where you can uplift yourself, then you're going to go far in life. And if you really think about it, people that are very successful and people that have like have achieved something that they've set out to do, it's not like a straightforward journey. There's a lot of pressure and stress that comes along with it. But if once you're able to manage it effectively, then you can take yourself to new heights. But yeah, at university there was none of that. It was just, I mean, you would have pressure from your course for sure, but it wasn't like, like, you have to like make something very of yourself in the world, like that kind of thing. But I do miss it because it was just so stress free in a way, of like, it was so structured in that sense. And now we're in reality, like, it's so different. It's so different, meaning like, now it's like you have a career that you need to focus on. If you want to go, if you want to start something of your own, that's another thing that you have to consider. That's very big. Like, for example, if you want to make a side hustle or a side hobby, something that you're trying to push on and grow, there's pressure that comes with it. There's so many different things, like even we keep up with relationships with friends, family, and so on. That's different as well. Like, it's mad because actually I always think to myself now, like, at university I had so many good friends, but then I had so many people that like were close with me, for sure, but because after you leave university, like, we've just not really managed to keep up. Maybe it's because of distance, maybe it's because of location. I mean, that's the same thing. Sorry, I meant distance, and also just convenience, because people's timetables are different. If you really wanted to, you would make the time, and I definitely agree. But then, there is, and I guess that kind of shows kind of the reality of relationships, or at least meaningful ones. But yeah, like, I guess it is kind of sad, but then again, it is kind of like, it really shows you what reality is. But in terms of personal growth, I'm gonna be real. Being in the real world and like learning basically how to swim from all this, I've learned so much more. So I think it's one of those things that you have to really consider and take into account. Like, yeah, it was all fun and games. If you really want growth and not to stay in your comfort zone, then this is it. And yeah, I will dive into this in the future for sure, on the differences between university and being in the real world, and how honestly how really different it is. But I do get these flashbacks, and I get it quite a lot, and it's just like, literally, my life is now completely different from when it was then. And if I really do think about it, I am grateful for the position I'm in right now, because I have to have that mentality where, like, you got to put in so much more work for you to achieve whatever you're looking for, whatever you want, and nothing really gets handed to you. And whereas when I was in university, it was more like, yeah, you'd put in work for sure, but like, because there were so many other external things that you could be involved with, you don't necessarily maximize on the output of being productive. And if your sole purpose, or like your own personal meaning of, like, for me, like, I really want to progress, not just individually as a person through like different skills that I want to work on, but also just through, you know, career, but through, YouTube, for example, through, there's so many different things I can just name, but I wouldn't been able to do that if I was still in that space, if I was still in that mentality or mindset, because it was like, for me, the mindset was to do the bare minimum, but because like I can have so much more fun as well. So now it's like, I guess, less fun, or like, actually I wouldn't say less fun actually. It's like changing the definition of what you think if fun is, because to be honest, I actually am enjoying pushing myself in reality. I think that's a different level of fun, because you're delaying that instant gratification for something in the long term, and then once you start seeing like progress, you know that satisfaction, that being content with that progress, is just so much more rewarding, that I've found. Whereas at university, it was like instant, like, oh, let's go out tonight, and then that's cool, that's fun. The next day, hangover, and you're not, you kind of regret it, or like, let's go grab dessert, every couple of days or whatever, and it was fun. But again, if my goal is to try and get a six pack or progress in the gym, probably wouldn't be the best situation to be in then. So whereas now it's like, okay, let's just focus on hitting the macros, or like just keep clean eating and working out and progressing in the gym, and in a couple of months time I'll be in a different condition, different physique. Nice. Like, I'm proud of myself for delaying that gratification. But I guess, yeah, that's what it is. Like, I will dive more deeper into this, but it's crazy because I do get flashbacks like that. And in the movies they depict flashbacks as like literally like vivid pictures. You can see, like, it goes all white smoke, and then than that, but it's the same. It really is the same. Alright, I better get to the gym. See you in the next one.